8, Mr. Medina. Assembly Bill 825, which is a candidate for suspense. You may start whenever you're ready, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. I'm pleased to present AB 825. AB 825 seeks to expand the definition of small businesses under the small business tax credit from businesses with 20 employees to businesses with 50 employees. Under existing law, a qualified employer is when it employs 20 or fewer employees. In 2009, the California Franchise Tax Board set up a new jobs credit, which allows small businesses to receive up to $3,000 credit for each additional full-time employee they hire. The board set a $400 million limit on the total amount of available credit to be claimed by all taxpayers. But as of March 4, 2013, the total amount of credits claimed was only $142 million. This means that small businesses still have the opportunity to reap the benefits of the new jobs credit. This is a good measure that will not only provide higher incentive for employers, but will also stimulate job creation. With me here is John Cavatek and Lori Kemmerer to speak on behalf of this measure. Thank you.
Please.
All right, well, thank you very much, and good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, committee members. My name is John Cavatek. I am the California Executive Director of the National Federation of Independent Business. We serve about 22,000 small and independent businesses here in California, about 350,000 nationwide. And we appreciate the opportunity to represent NFIB and our small business owner members, and to be joined by Ms. Kammerer with Small Business California in strong support of AB 825. Which will give increased hope to small businesses and Californians to help create more jobs, small business jobs in our state. The bottom line is that small businesses in California still feel an enormous level of fear and uncertainty about what tomorrow is going to bring. The increased cost of doing business through the highest sales, income, and gas taxes in the nation, a very egregious regulatory climate, and then a number of other burdens that just have inhibited the ability of the local bookstore, auto shop, dry cleaner, you name it, small business owners to create more jobs and get more Californians working. According to NFIB's Small Business Optimism Index, and we do one each month, our March index that we released showed that small business optimism fell by 1.3% last month after 3 consecutive months of growth. With plans to increase employment dropping by 4 points last month from the previous month. As our chief economist Bill Dunkelberg said in response to that, quote, "For the sector that produces half the private gross domestic product and employs half of the private sector workforce, the fact that small businesses aren't growing, expanding, hiring, and not doing what they should be doing, which is being successful, is evidence enough that uncertainty is slowing the economy and jobs. Small businesses and people looking for work need certainty. They need predictability and reliability. By expanding the hiring tax credit and eligibility to a wider base of small businesses through this definitional change, more small businesses will be able to put people to work, feed the economy, and get California out of the economic hole that we are in. And let's be clear, a hiring tax credit and even AB 825 is not going to solve everything. It's not going to be the silver bullet that solves every small business owner's hiring woes. But by increasing the employee level from 20 to 50 employees, it does cast a larger life preserver to those mom and pops out there who could benefit from it and need help now. These larger small businesses are more sophisticated, they're often with HR departments, and therefore able to take full advantage of the new higher tax credit. Furthermore, it's actually the larger small businesses that are more likely to be able to hire right now, so this may be just the nudge that is needed, something that we did see with the home buyer credit, as you may recall, the market was at the bottom. And we're hopeful that as a result, this will actually inspire the smaller businesses to actually hire more. So in closing, NFIB does believe AB 825 is a step. It's an important step, though, in the direction of getting more people working, getting them out of the unemployment line, getting our economy humming again, and California back on the road to recovery. It sends a clear message that California is committed to becoming business-friendly and giving more struggling Californians right now jobs. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. Lori Kammer, representing Small Business California. We have about 5,000 members. We're a little smaller than NFIB, but we represent the same constituency, small businesses, the moms and pops. We have always supported the best use of the tax credits. We believe that AB 825 is a very good step forward. Small Business California also does an annual survey where access to capital has been the #1 concern of small businesses. We believe that by being able to take advantage of a tax credit and have a strong tax credit in place, that this will be one very important tool to help our small businesses survive in California. Thank you. We urge your support.
Thank you very much. Any other witnesses in support of this measure? Any witnesses in opposition to this measure?
Trying to save your time, save the committee's time. Here. Lenny Goldberg, California Tax Reform Association. I want to commend the analysis, which looks at the empirical question of do hiring tax credits at a level of $3,000 make any difference? And they don't. We oppose the original New Jobs Tax Credit, and I think our opposition has been vindicated by the fact that it has not even been used in the 3 or 4 years it's been in place. We have seen a number of efforts to change it, raise it, and because that money is already allocated. But I do think that the evidence is pretty clear that there really is no hiring impact. In fact, the enterprise zone tax credit is the largest in the country, and the studies of that have shown, and way 12 times the size, $37,000 in total over 5 years, and studies have shown that those don't really work. Leaving that issue aside, the fact is that this credit has not been used for very good reason. It does not really have any impact, and so expanding it we don't think will have an impact either.
Thank you very much, Mr. Goldberg. Any questions from the committee? Mr. Mullen?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for bringing the bill forward. I have a question, though, if you can answer it. Relative to the fiscal effect, I know this is policy committee, but it says there's a revenue loss of $50 million in the current fiscal year, $7.1 million next fiscal year, and then tapering all the way down to $12.5 million in fiscal year 2015-2016. Just curious about the sort of dramatic drop-off. We got the 50 in year 1 and all the way down to 70 in year 2. Can anybody just explain the dynamics of how that impact will be felt on the general fund?
On the why the dramatic decline on
from year to the next.
On revenue from 2013-14, 50 million, and then going down to 2014 down to 7 million. So why the dramatic decline? I'm looking to see in the use or in the decline of revenue. Why decline so dramatically?
A decline in impact to the general fund. And that's the way that the bill would be administered. So it's kind of technical. Just curious if somebody had a quick answer. If not a major deal. It's a suspense item.
I didn't have a quick.
We can get the answer.
And perhaps for the follow-up, since this is a suspense item, we'll check in with FTD since these are their numbers. Mr. Handy and then Mr. Gordon.
Yeah, just to thank you all for bringing the bill forward. I think it's a good bill. And to Mr. Goldberg's point, I know there's a lot of factors that affect the fund. And so we don't know particularly which one may not be working right now. And as the lady here mentioned, access to capital is certainly a big problem or hurdle. So I think this certainly can't hurt to expand it to more businesses. So hopefully we'll get more use of it. So thank you for bringing it forward.
Thank you, Mr. Nastand.
Mr. Gordon.
Thank you. Yeah. Mr. Medina, I just wanted to give you a heads up, but this is one of suspense, so I want you to get some opportunities to convince me otherwise. But I'm kind of tired of this whole jobs tax credit because I don't think it works at all. And businesses in my community that I talk to say that for them, the $3,000 they get back the amount of time, paperwork, related to those funds, that the whole process is so convoluted, it's just not worth their time and energy, even to get the 3,000. And I know that businesses need capital, but folks in my region are saying, you know, it's just not worth it. And I'm not sure the program has worked, and that we keep looking at how to use these funds differently or expand. I don't know whether expanding will help or not, but we have some time to talk.
Thank you, Mr. Jordan.
Yes, we will sharpen our pencils. Mr. Bettis and then Mr. King.
I want to say that I think that anything we can do to incentivize and support our small businesses, I think we should. I understand that there are studies out there that indicate that perhaps tax credits might not be working for different reasons, but there's many studies that indicate that they do work as well. And so I think this is just another tool to be able to provide access to capital. And as we move forward on the issue of enterprise zones, let's reform them, let's make them better. And so I'll be looking forward to working with you on this piece of legislation.
Thank you, Mr. Bettis.
Mr. King.
Just briefly, I think Mr. Gordon articulated exactly key points, so I'm in a similar position where I'm interested to hear more evidence that this is actually going to make sure we create jobs or have the exact result that we have. Because if we're going to spend money, we want to make sure that it's being deployed.
Thank you, Mr. King. Any other questions from the committee? Seeing none, this is a candidate for suspense. Mr. Medina, if you have any closing remarks or final comments?
Well, I just would, in closing, say, you know, whatever we can do to help small businesses, I think we ought to do. So, in that, appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. We will be in touch.
Thank you.
Next presenter.